All right, I'm going to go ahead and analyze my Master Series course from Countryside Agility on June 22nd, 2024 in Erie, Pennsylvania. I already did the Jumping Master Series, so I thought it would be appropriate for me to analyze its counterpart, the Agility. Um, I'll be the first to tell you that this was the course I started with when I started to design this, and it took me quite a while. Um, I did submit for review a different course than this. But halfway through, it was about a week before I had heard back from the reviewer, which is perfect because I was not happy with it. So what I had here instead is I had the dog walk down the middle here where the A-frame was, but it really restricted my ability to be creative in the sense of like, what else can I do? This tunnel over here was cockeyed on the other side, so there was a nice straight entrance here. But with having that situation there, it really cut down and limited my space where I couldn't use the entire ring how I wanted to. So I just rearranged a couple things here and had the A-frame down the middle, and I can still have the same exact challenge that I wanted with a tunnel underneath that contact. So overall, I'm happy with this. The one part I really did not like was 5, 4, 5, 6, 7. Um, so starting at one, just a very straightforward beginning. 1, 2, side change to 3, 4, and then you have that really trendy soft-sided entrance. Sending your dog up and hopefully they find it. After that, you had a side change after the weave pulls, and then a backside on 7. I just really did not like that. So what I did instead is played around with some options here. And you can see where I would put 6 and 7. So jump number 3 would be a standalone jump, and 6 would be by itself. So I'm just going to go ahead and take that away. And also the jump number 8 is gone too. So this presents a little bit of a more appropriate challenge. I did drag the weaves down a little bit here. The one thing I didn't like about this is that it sort of made my discrimination challenge disappear with number 16 there. So I would have just went ahead and dragged this 16, 17, 18 down and over to keep that challenge there. And again, make the sequence after the weave pulls a little bit more fluid. I think I drag these down even farther. So I guess now that I look at this, I don't like the entry to the weave pulls, so I probably would have had them do a backside on number 5, that jump there, and then into the weaves. It's still a nice little challenge there, so let me go ahead and put that in and renumber. Oh, I gotta hit the renumber option. Okay, and we're still at 21 obstacles, so we're perfect. We still have one obstacle to play around with too. All right, so after that, obviously I did change around a couple things. That's okay. So 6, 7, 8 is now a nice flowing line if we look at the dog's path, which that is my main objective with designing courses all the time. It has to be smooth, it has to be flowing, it has to be something that I would run my dogs on. And I would definitely put my dogs through that. The handling options here would, again, you need a side change after the weave pulls, and then some sort of send to 8 for the backside there. I wouldn't want to put this over too much further because the pull is there. But you could do backside blind. You could actually maybe independently send your dog in the weaves, and you could go ahead and do some layering action here. You could draw a line with the annotation here. So you could pop the dogs in the weave and then just sort of laterally move away from them and call your dog and maybe just do a thread line here to 8. So a lot of options with that, which is really fun when you have options to do things. Makes the fun course to watch, fun to run, and just fun in general, since the options are up to you and you're not doing the same thing everyone else is doing. Um, After that, I do have a challenge that is the same. It's a tough challenge. It's out of the tunnel. There is an off course here with number 11. It is a throttle wrap, so it's definitely a skill that you're going to want to need if you want to do a master series. I think it's really fun. It's not too hard to teach either. It's just the application of it and the proofing of it can get a little bit tedious, just like anything else that you would do. So it is a fun skill to have. Um, but that was my plan there, was to test if people could do a throttle. Um, can you do a throttle wrap and blind, or did you have to do a throttle post turn, I like to call them, or just a throttle rear and turn with your dog so you don't lose sight of them? So there's a lot of challenge with that. Then you just go up the A-frame to the backside of number 13. I didn't really want to put a ton of backsides in here. I really did want to keep some nice parts here, but I really needed a change of direction to get us to the other side of the course so I could finish. So sending to the backside after the A-frame, I thought was a good challenge there. And I do want to fix the line on this backside here. I don't know why the course designer does this, but the actual line would look something probably like this, where the dog rounds the backside nicely, slices it a little bit this way, creating a nice entrance into the tunnel. And then from there, you just have a transport obstacle, number 4. You just sort of cue it and look at it. And then you have the final um, part of the course that is the challenge. There is a throttle wrap or a backside wrap, depending on if you had dog on right or dog on left. If you want a dog on left, you'd have to blind in between 15 and 16. If you're quick, you could probably make it work in blind between the tunnel 14 and 15, but I really do think the best way to do it would be to do your cross in between 16 and 15. A couple people did that and it worked well. Um, but the main challenge there is another throttle wrap on the bottom here, to throttle wrap off your left hand, um, dog on left, and then I had a throttle wrap dog on right. So if I repeat something like that, I do like to make sure it's on the opposite arm, just so it's not getting stale. So doing a throttle wrap on 16, and then since I have this angled here, number 17, um, you would require just a throttle slice there and do an in. You could absolutely treat that as backside, do maybe a blind after 17. But you definitely wanted to have dog on right, in my belief, in my thinking, to make 18 a nice line to do a backside wrap. And then you go ahead and finish with 19, 20, and 21. So looking at a real-time view of this, I love this feature of course design. It's the one thing I wish Smart Agility had, but maybe someday. So yeah, really happy with how this turned out. Um, I really wish I had a little more time to take with designing these courses for Countryside, because I was in the last part of the school year, and that's always hectic for teachers. So I stayed up really late a lot and made these, and I'm happy with how they ran, and they had good feedback, and people were successful, and a lot of good stuff too. So even if runs go wrong and you you just want to make sure that you find at least one thing to be proud of that was hard for you and your dog to be successful about. So, so that's my Master Series Agility for Countryside. Fun stuff. And like I said, this wasn't the course I originally had. I changed it last minute and sent it for review, and this is what it became. So I'm glad I did that, because the other course is a little bit something I would not have ran with my dogs, and I was just not happy with it. So if I'm not happy with it, you won't see it in a course at a trial. All right. Thanks for listening.